There's a lot to blog and a lot to say. I hope you guys can hear me. I'm sitting right next to a stereo that's playing maybe Mariah Carey. Right now we're in Ocotillo, California. We rode about 60 miles this morning. We left last night Slab City and Salvation Mountain, which is two locations that were featured pretty prominently in the film Into the Wild. Emile Hirsch's character visited that area. That's where you met Kristen Stewart's character. And yeah, that film is for both me and my riding buddy Brent. A big reason that we both got on the bikes to finally take this trip is really influential to both of us. So when Brent told me that it was nearby where we were hanging out in Brawley, California, I said, you know, we don't have any choice but to go there. So we went, and it was a pretty amazing experience. We met a couple people there that were hanging out, checking out Salvation Mountain, which has a really interesting history if you guys want to check it out, and you'll see some pictures of it. And we went into Slab City, which was very scary and interesting, and we met a young lady named Bubbles, who was probably older than me, or maybe my age, and she was a really interesting girl, and she showed us around and took us into her RV home, or trailer park home, and made us dinner, which was chicken burritos with rice and sugar, which was kind of tasty actually, inside of tortillas. So before that, I'm going to go way back. First crossed into California maybe 5 days ago, and we rolled into a city called Blythe, California, and there we stayed with a guy named Wayne who's on Warm Showers as a host. He hosts people there. He owns a bait shop. It's a really nice little piece of property, and he has a little outdoor hangout area where a lot of people from the town come and hang out. And we ended up spending 3 days there, and I got to perform at a party that he threw on a Saturday. And he and a lady named Lizzie, who pretty much runs the shop, and another guy named Mark, they were incredibly kind to Brent and I. And I tried desperately to be able to perform at the local high school there in Blythe, and I got all the way up to the school superintendent, and it got shut down, even though I showed up there at 7 a.m. to talk to him. And yeah, but I had a good time there anyway. I ended up performing that one time there at the house, and then Brent and I rode out, and that day we made it to 3 days after staying there 3 days. Brent and I rode out to Brawley, California, where we stayed with a fellow named Jim, who was very, very interesting, and also was a couch surfing, a Warm Showers host. And so was Wayne. Wayne was on Warm Showers and couch surfing, and he was very interesting and had some interesting opinions, and was very adamant about certain things. And we stayed with him for a night, and he was very hospitable to us. And Brawley was an interesting town, but we didn't stay there too long because Brent discovered pretty quickly about Slab City being there, so we were going to stay there 2 days, but ended up just going to Slab City. And I mean, Slab City and Salvation Mountain were pretty magical. I mean, it was an emotional thing to show up there, and, you know, both seeing this thing in the movie, and we were there at it, and the guy Leonard who takes care of this mountain. And I don't want to describe too much what it is because it'll take too much time, but you should look it up and see what it is. And it's featured again in Into the Wild, which is a great film directed by Sean Penn, and starring Emile Hirsch, about Christopher McCandless's journey from Georgia to Alaska. You know, which is also a book that I haven't read, but I'm sure it's really good. And so anyway, yeah, going to Slab City, it's completely, it's unlike any other community I've ever been to, even the ones I've been traveling through on my bicycle. It's something else, something special, kind of definitely Old West the way Jim described it. There's not much law out there beyond what the residents of that area, beyond how they police themselves. Very outside on the fringes of society. And it's a beautiful place, but also a very wild place. Oh, and we swam in some hot springs, which was skinny dips. It was my first time ever doing that. Probably not smart on a hot night in Southern California, but we did, and I actually did feel really good coming out of there. Oh, also I jumped off of a pier for the first time into some water in North Canal, so I faced the fear there. That was in Blythe, California. I didn't want to do it, but Brent convinced me to, and forced me to face a fear, which is, I felt really convicted because I didn't want to jump into the water because I can't swim, but there was another young man there who was there, and he was very afraid to jump in the water. And if I'm professing to be out on this tour on a project about fear, I can't very well sit there. I mean, he was asking me to jump. He said he would jump if I jumped, and I just ended up doing it. And I'm actually pretty proud that I did it, but it was quite terrifying. I actually ended up jumping 3 times, and thank God Brent was there because I really can't swim, and it was quite scary. Anyway, that's enough of an update. I'm heading towards San Diego, try to make it to the Youth Shakespeare Festival on the 28th. They contacted me today and indeed want me to be part of the proceedings, so I'm really excited about that. Still trying to raise more money all the time. Right now I'm trying to raise money to get to my 10-year high school reunion, which is going to be, I believe, in July. So if you guys want to donate to my PayPal for that, and let me know it's expressly for that. I don't know how much the ticket will be. I'll take a bus if I have to, or a train. But I'll probably be in Washington State at that point, and I've got to get to my 10-year reunion, just because I think it'd be a waste to be doing this project and not go back home for my 10-year high school reunion. So what I would do is fly there for 48 hours and fly back and keep riding. So I'm taking donations for that and for my trip in general. I'm subsisting on like less than $100, and frankly I need to eat a lot in order to do what I'm doing, and then there was a danger of something happened to my bike. So any donation you can give, modest or substantial, anything that's appreciated, and so please do that. You can be able to do that on the blog, and that's it. This update is getting long, but hopefully that recaps most of the last week, and there'll be a lot of other stuff on the blog too to supplement. All right, Spirit Bear out.